Men in their 20s and 30s are not supposed to struggle with erectile dysfunction, but I've worked with countless young men who struggle to perform, not because their bodies are broken, but because their brains have been miswired by masturbation and escalation. The trigger is often simple: being left alone with a screen. What starts out with the intention of a quick release becomes hours of seeking, searching, and hyperstimulation that no real partner could ever compete with. This is episode 7 in my Masturbation Trap series. Today, I'm going to show you how porn-induced erectile dysfunction happens, how escalation leads to even larger challenges, and ultimately, what it does to real intimacy. I worked with a 29-year-old man who said, "I've stopped dating altogether because I know if I go out on a date, I will not be able to get hard. I won't be able to perform, so I've just stopped trying." This wasn't a medical issue. He was physically healthy, active. He miswired his brain through porn and masturbation. So now real life intimacy with a partner doesn't even register. That's performance collapse. When you can't even respond to real connection with a person anymore. Tell me, have you noticed your performance or your arousal changing? Let me know in the comments. Just drop a yes. Okay, here's the neuroscience behind porn-induced ED. Dopamine flood and crash. First, dopamine floods your brain, but ultimately then you crash. That means real life intimacy falls flat. It could never compare to the flood. Prefrontal cortex shutdown. That control center in your brain becomes weakened, leaving those cravings in charge. Arousal pathways miswired. Instead of your brain being connected to real intimacy, now it becomes bonded to pixels instead of people. Performance anxiety loop. Once performance collapses, now shame and anxiety set in, making everything worse. This is why so many men in my online program tell me, I can't perform without porn. I can't make it happen without remembering the images that I've seen. And here's what makes it worse. Neuroscience shows that shame actually activates the same circuits as physical pain. So every time you try to perform with a partner and you fail, you're actually reinforcing those pain circuits to make you feel worse. Of course, that leads you back to more porn and masturbation to offset those feelings. The loop goes on and on. Pain drives more compulsion. Patrick Carnes, one of the leading pioneers in sex addiction research, said this: addiction isn't about sex or drugs. It's about escaping the underlying pain. And for many men, ED is the pain that they're escaping. And then they do so by going back to the very thing that caused it. One man shamefully admitted to me that the only way he could be with his girlfriend is imagining the porn scenes that he's watched. He felt so guilty. He said, I don't want her to know that I'm not really even present with her. I have to imagine those scenes to perform. That's performance collapse. It's not at all that he doesn't care about her and want to be with her. His brain has been hijacked. The arousal pathways will only now fire with hyperstimulation. Neuroscience shows that when the brain pairs climax with novelty and intensity from porn fantasy, that's the only way that climax can be reached. The brain's miswired away from real intimacy. So even in the moments that he really wanted to connect, he couldn't. His brain had been miswired into the screen for fantasy not into reality for connection and enjoyment and love. He'd been miswired away from reality. And here's the real cost. His girlfriend felt unseen. He felt intense shame. They began to disconnect even more and more. The wall between them was built higher than either of them could climb. This is what happens when porn miswires your brain so intensely that you keep going in that direction. Real intimacy breaks down. This is the most dangerous consequence of escalation of masturbation that people don't realize. Men feel shame, partners feel disconnected, relationships break down, pushing you back into the screen, having it so that nobody can feel connected in a way that they want and they deserve. This is how masturbation spirals out of control. This is why episode 8, Breaking the Cycle, is crucial. Don't miss it. I'll show you how to stop escalation in its tracks, restore intimacy through a strong, healthy brain, and get you back on track for the future that you want to create. Masturbation isn't harmless. It can lead to performance collapse, making it so that you and millions of other men cannot connect with the people that they love. But this does not have to be the end of your story. Hear me on this. Recovery is possible. If you've missed the videos at the beginning of this series, please go back, catch up. Make sure you watch episode 8 coming up next. Hit the like button so that more men can hear this message. Subscribe because I show up here for you every week. Please put your story in the comments if you're comfortable. It helps you affirm where you are and where you want to be. It also helps other men see that they are not alone. You are not alone. I am here for you. I want you to remember this. It's so important. Control your brain or it will control you. I'll see you next time.